Have you ever wondered what it's like to go to a WWE live event? Or maybe you haven't, but in case you have, these guys went to their first WWE live event last night. We went and saw SmackDown here in Sacramento, and we're going to talk about exactly what they thought of their first live wrestling event. Now, I will say, I personally haven't been following wrestling in the last, I'd say, decade, but I grew up watching wrestling every single day. I went to quite a few live events, and actually the last live event that I went to, guys, was one that your grandfather took me to. It was Royal Rumble here in Sacramento at the Arco Arena. I don't even remember what year it was. It was probably 90, I don't remember when it was. But that was the last event that I went to, and I was probably your age.
Huh.
So this was my first live event in a very long time. So these guys have fallen in love with the WWE, and because of that, I have fallen back in love with the WWE. We watch it a lot. These guys are absolutely obsessed about it. So we're just going to give you some brief highlights of what Krosby and Leland thought about the live show. So let's start by saying, before going to the live show, who were the superstars that each of you wanted to see while we were at this event? Leland?
Jey Uso.
You wanted to see Jey Uso. That was the #1 star. Okay, no spoilers. Don't tell us if he was there, but that was it. There wasn't anybody else?
Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns.
Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. Coincidentally, all three on the SmackDown roster, right?
Jey Uso. No.
Jey Uso's not on SmackDown? Jey Uso's on Raw. Okay, Krosby. Who did you want to see going into this?
I wanted to see Kevin Owens.
KO.
Kevin Owens.
Right?
And Roman Reigns.
And Roman Reigns. Nobody else?
No.
You weren't excited? You didn't want to see Cody?
Well,
the champ?
I want to see Cody.
Oh, okay. And he wanted to see Cody. I feel like I kind of forced that out of him a little bit, but that's okay.
I forgot about Kevin Owens.
And Kevin Owens. So everybody wanted to see KO. All right, so going into this event, when we got there, which I will admit, we got there like one match late, so we missed the opening match. I don't remember who it was. Well, when we got there, who was wrestling?
LA Knight versus Andrade.
Yep, LA Knight. Defending his championship, right?
Yeah, and I forgot about one.
I also wanted to see Randy Orton.
And Krosby wanted to see Randy Orton also. So, before we get into too many details, let's talk about our seating. Whereabouts did we sit at this event?
It's about, like, not, it's pretty close to the
It was ringside. It was on the floor.
Yeah.
We were in the folding chairs on the floor. Now, personally, I thought when I got the tickets, I thought that they were ringside. Like, I thought we were going to be, like, right there on the barricade, feeling the sweat dumping into our faces and everybody's hot breaths and maybe even Liv or somebody getting real close. I don't know. But we were a couple rows back, but we were still on the floor. Right?
Yeah.
So what would you say the pros and the cons were of being where we were? So what was good about where we sat?
The thing that I thought was good was it was a really good view when
We were close, right?
Yeah, like we were close.
And we got to go down, like we were right there where the wrestlers came out, basically. And because we were on the floor, we got access to that little backstage area. We got to see where they shoot they cut all the promos and stuff. What would you say the positives were of where we sat? What were the good things of where we sat?
Probably the ring, we could see it pretty well.
Yeah, we were really close, right? So we were very close. I think we were maybe 6 rows from the very front, on the floor in the folding seats. But for anybody looking to sit down there on the floor, what would you say were the negatives of where we sat?
Okay, so when the wrestlers got out of the ring, you couldn't really see them at all. So we had to stare all the way up into the screen.
Okay, very, very good point. Krosby, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I have 3.
All right.
First, a lot of people were in our way blocking us when they stand.
Yeah.
And second, the screens that well, up above us. I had to do this.
Yeah. And what's the third?
And the third is that the same one as Leland.
The same one as Leland. When the wrestlers got out of the ring, you couldn't really see them. Okay, so let's combine all those, and let's talk about this for a second.
Or
This is, what?
Or like when they were doing the entrance, like when they first started out, I couldn't see them.
You couldn't really see them from where we were, right? Yeah. So let's talk about all these for a second, because this is really something that I think a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to sitting on the floor or sitting, ringside. The ringside seats are great if you're front row, right?
Yeah.
If you're front row, you're getting to see everything. You get to see everything. But if you're even 3 rows back and you got some tall guy in front of you, like me, then every time something cool happens, everybody stands up. And that's not that big of a deal for me, but for these guys, it's kind of a deal breaker, right? So when you're down on the floor and you're eye level with the ring, but as soon as the wrestlers get thrown out of the ring and they're on the mat, you kind of can't see them anymore because everyone stands up, and then with these guys being short, they can't see nothing. And then as Krosby, he's getting taller. He's getting taller. You're getting there, buddy. You're almost there. But as if you want to look up to the giant Trinitrons or the screens, which are above the ring, we were sitting directly below those. So you kind of had to do this thing, and even then, the angle of the screen wasn't super great. So for as close as we were.
Right next to the entrance, there was more screens, and that was better.
It was a little bit better to look at the screens in the entrance area. But even those, when everybody was standing up, you still pretty blocked. One of the issues that I had is with how small this guy is, every time everyone stood up, the instinct was for Kros to stand on his chair, right? But the ushers wouldn't let anyone stand on their chairs, which means I was kind of forced to trade off with the missus and hold Krosby up so he can see him. And this happened every time the audience stood up. So unless you're a tall person, my suggestion would be, if you're going to get floor seats, as hard as they are to get, try and get the ones that are right in front, because that would have been really, really cool, right? Also, try and get seats near the entrance. I thought we were near the entrance, but we were on the other side of the entrance. So when wrestlers made their entrances,
and also,
it was hard to see them, right?
I thought that we got front row.
I thought we got front row too, but it's very hard to tell when you're buying these tickets. I will say that.
There was green seats that exclusive, and I really wanted one.
Krosby wanted to take one of the folding chairs home. I think you only get that at pay-per-views, though. I'm not certain, but I think that's only with pay-per-views.
Taking them home.
Some people took them home, but I think those people had some kind of special event pass. I'm not really sure. If you know the answer to this question, hit the comments and let us know, because I'm very curious. So let's go to the next question. This one's one that I was really excited to ask you guys. What did you think of watching professional wrestling live versus watching it on TV?
Ooh.
What's the difference? Was it more exciting live or less exciting live? Did it feel more forced live, or was it just as electrifying as it is when you watch it on TV? Because on TV, you're getting all those different camera angles and stuff. And from where we are, we're having to stand up and sit down and do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I feel like you already kind of know about what's gonna happen on the TV, but when you're at live WWE
Anything
show,
can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And when you just hear the
Because
music,
on
you could just stand up. And
Yeah, all of
cheer.
a sudden it's just bam, that music hits, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a little more exciting live, right? Yeah.
maybe I pretty much like live more
Mm-hmm.
because just of how exciting it is, and
Yeah.
because on TV they show you what's up next.
Yeah, and you don't get that when you're there live. You're just what's going to happen next? You don't know. Also, what's kind of weird.
Giant crowd, and like you can just do like, if for example, like, if Jey Uso comes out, you can just do this.
You guys loved doing the cheering with the crowd. So that's one thing that you get when you're with a live audience, is you get all the excitement and the electricity of everyone else. That's what makes it so fun to begin with, to go to a live event, right?
Yeah, but
that was a ton of fun.
One downfall of the live thing is, do you remember like all the cut scenes where like it showed the Sacramento things?
So that's what I was going to get to next. The one thing that you guys aren't used to that I had to explain to them was there's quite a bit of downtime at a live event. And do you know why that is?
Because how they make...
For sponsors, yeah for commercials.
How they make money.
That is very correct. That is commercials or sponsors. So, when we're watching on TV, it goes to commercial break, and you can just kind of, go do something else. You can catch a quick match of Fortnite, or, maybe watch a YouTube video. You could go make a sandwich, do something,
or
right?
you can play with your action figures.
Or you could play with your action figures. Correct.
Or wrestling action.
But when you're there live, they go to those commercial breaks, and they have their sponsor breaks, and you're just it's kind of weird, right? Because like the wrestlers sometimes are just standing in the ring.
Like, save, and then you just have to stay in your seat.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Tiffany Stratton or something and like Nia Jax were in the ring?
Yeah, they were in the ring for the whole commercial break, and they were just kind of standing there, right?
Yeah, they were just
kind of breaks immersion a little
and
bit.
they're kind of hyping up the crowd.
They do. They hype up the crowd. Okay, so that leads me to my next question.
But then all of them were like this.
Of all the wrestlers that we saw in the live event, not the dark matches afterwards, but in the live event, who do you think was the most fun to watch wrestle?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens.
Kevin and Cody.
I give it to Kevin, man. Like, Kevin really knew how to command that crowd. He was really good at hyping everybody up. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Kevin Owens kind of controlled the show, the whole second half of the show. Like, he did a really good job.
He controlled the whole show.
Wait,
Yeah,
maybe
he
Kevin
did a really
Owens or LA Knight.
LA Knight did a pretty good job. You know who I would say did a really good job of hyping up the audience also?
Cody.
Was, Cody Rhodes came in towards the end there, but I'm not really great with the modern wrestler names, but it was the tag team that came out with Kevin Owens. What was the name of that tag team?
Street Profit.
Street Profits.
Wait, I thought it was ODC.
No. DIY, you mean?
DIY was supposed to come out, and then they got attacked backstage, so the Street Profits came out. And I can't remember, both of the Street Profits were good, but one of them was exceptional.
Montez Ford?
Yeah, it was Montez Ford.
That guy. I feel like you got to keep an eye on that guy in the future. I think he's got some talent, and he really knows how to hype up a crowd. So of all the matches that you saw, what was of all the matches that were not dark matches? We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the dark matches. Of all the matches that you saw for the televised event, what would you say was the most fun?
Kevin Owens.
Krosby says Kevin Owens. That was the six-man tag match, right? Six-man tag match.
Okay, so I have to give, I don't really like tag team matches that much. I like solo matches because tag team matches, it takes a long time and, I don't know. It's just, kind of weird.
Yeah, okay. So what was your favorite match then?
I think it was LA Knight and Andrade.
LA Knight. You're an LA Knight fan, huh? Leland likes LA Knight. And you know what? I'm coming around to it. LA Knight's pretty good. All right, so of all the live event stuff, the stuff that was televised on TV, that was your favorites. You liked Kevin Owens the best? The six-man, the massive six-man tag. And Leland really enjoyed the LA Knight match, which LA Knight kept his title. You know what I gotta say, though? I really enjoyed Jacob Fatu.
I didn't really.
You don't like Jacob Fatu?
No, I hate him.
Everybody hates Jacob Fatu. Do you know what that means? That means he's playing the heel really, really well. Yeah. Watch. I'm going to tell you at some point he's probably going to have a face turn, and he's going to be I think he's going to get over. I think he's already over pretty well as a heel, but as a face, I think he's going to get over really well. I grew up watching the original Fatu. His dad and his uncle were a tag team. And do you know that they were twins? And do you know who his dad is?
Sam.
His dad is Sam Fatu. Do you know who his uncle is?
No.
He goes by what?
Rikishi?
Rikishi. His uncle is Rikishi. So Sam Fatu and Rikishi, the Fatu brothers, are twins. And
So
Sam
that
has a
means-
son. His son is Jacob Fatu, and Rikishi has quite a few sons. 2 of his sons are twins, and they are
Jimmy. And Jimmy.
Yeah.
the Uso brothers. And also, Solo Sikoa is one of his sons as well. So I grew up watching the Head Shrinkers and, like the Fatu brothers, and then later Rikishi. I really enjoyed that, and I think that Jacob Fatu has that energy. I really think he does. So I really like Jacob Fatu. Even though he's playing a heel right now, we're not supposed to like him. Boo! You know who else I liked as a heel?
Who?
We're going to get into dark matches now. Drew McIntyre. He's a great heel.
He's not a
He's
heel.
not.
He was a heel. He was a heel last night, guys.
He was not
People
a
were
heel.
booing him.
Yeah.
Let me show. Let's cut to a clip real quick, and you tell me if this is a heel. That's a heel, okay? All right, so let's talk about the dark matches. Did you know what a dark match was before we went to the live event?
Nope, never.
You didn't know what a dark match was? Did you know what a dark match was? Okay, so let's explain it real quick. A dark match in a televised event like SmackDown or Raw is matches that are not televised. They're there just for the audience. Those are wrestlers that are there to entertain, right?
Yeah.
Just to entertain the audience.
Just to hype up the crowd.
Yeah, just to give people the experience, It's not a televised part, it's not part of the storyline, but it's there to give people like that really fun,
Wait,
hyped up
so-
time.
People, can we turn, at any point, in dark matches?
Yes. They're not part of storylines. Dark matches are not part of storylines. And typically there's a few dark matches before the event, and then there's a few dark matches after the event. So, did you guys know that there was going to be dark matches after the event?
Yes.
You did?
No, because you said, I said, is there any more matches after this? And then you said, no, I don't think so.
Okay, so of the dark matches, of the wrestlers who appeared in the dark matches, who was the most shocking to you, Leland?
Jey
Jey
Uso.
Uso.
Both of you was Jey Uso? Okay, let's tell a quick story. When the last match that aired on SmackDown last night happened, which was the 6-man tag, when that was over, Krosby and I got up to go to the merch tables.
But it was too long.
But the lines were very long. What happened when we were walking around up top at the merch table?
I just heard dun 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 dun.
He heard the music of Jey Uso hit, and this kid was so hyped up. Let me show you. This was him walking back down to our seat. Yeah, he was really hyped up. Mom and Leland were already down there. They were already down there doing their yeets and everything else.
Mom wasn't. She was like, "Who's this guy?"
But then she ended up liking him.
Yeah, and then she went like this.
Maybe a little too much.
Oh, the whole crowd is doing this.
Yeah. Did he not really command that crowd?
He does.
Yeah.
He's a very
And
big
then
baby
also-
face.
So were you guys expecting him to show up?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Who did he wrestle?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, which I gotta tell you, Drew McIntyre is probably one of my favorite modern wrestlers. I really enjoy Drew McIntyre. He really knew how to get people hyped up in a way that you got to be a good heel to be able to do that. And the whole gag that he had going with taking off the kilt thing and like getting people worked up, it was fun. And it seemed like him and Uso had a pretty fun match. They went out there, they had fun together. Who won that match?
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso won that match. Of course, the babyface is going to get over on the heel. But that's because we love it that way, right?
I want to see Pat McAfee.
Okay, so who was the second most shocking appearance that you saw last night?
Liv.
Liv, right?
Yeah.
She's on Raw, I think, right? Isn't Liv on Raw? I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed watching Liv wrestle. If you haven't watched Liv wrestle, you should check it out. It's pretty good.
At that point, I thought the Judgment Day was going to come out.
You thought the Judgment Day. So who did Liv wrestle? I don't even know who that was.
It was, that lady that,
Krosby, yeah.
wrestled, Nia Jax.
Okay, well, we would just consider, like, in the wrestling stratosphere, we consider those folks like mid-card jobbers. They come out and they wrestle and make they make other, top-tier wrestlers like Liv look good.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
So when Liv came out, and she's on Raw, so I said, wait, that means Jey Uso's gonna come out.
And then Jey Uso, boom. All right, so let's talk about the last big surprise that we got. Who was the last person to come out and wrestle in the dark matches? And he did show up on the live event right at the end to come down and help with Bloodline 2.0.
It was Cody.
The champion, Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare. I gotta tell you...
Wait till you see what I got.
I gotta tell you, the audience loves singing that song.
Yeah, even I
Or
was
Seth
singing.
Rollins.
Everybody was singing. Check this video out. Everybody loves that song. Cody is doing a really, really good job, in my opinion, with his championship run. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Do you want to see Cody continue his run?
Yes.
Yeah? You
Yeah,
don't
but
think he should
also-
lose the title anytime soon?
No, I want Roman to beat him.
You want Roman to beat him? Were you really kind of bummed out that Roman didn't show up? What about you?
I was.
Everybody was bummed out. Even Mom was a little bummed out, which I'm bummed out about.
And Mom said that Roman can spear her. And
All right, we don't need to. That's okay. Anyways, so that was the whole live event in a nutshell.
And then guess what?
Wait, what happened at the end of the night? What happened? Did Cody come up and start talking? And
Yeah, he started talking about a bunch of stuff, and then he said, "I'm gonna give this table piece away to the loudest person here."
so people were chanting tables and chairs. And so during the last dark match that Cody had, who did Cody wrestle? Who was that?
Carmelo Hayes. He was a very, very, very big heel.
Oh, okay, well, Carmelo Hayes. I'm unfamiliar with Carmelo Hayes, but Cody and
That
Carmelo.
guy with like the dreads, and he had
Yeah. I mean, I know who he is now, but before the night, Cody and him had a fun dark match, and then Cody ended up pulling out a table. And did he powerbomb him through the table? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He powerbombed him through the table, and there was a chunk of table left, and he signed it, and he said that for the loudest person in the audience, he was going to give that chunk of table to him. And I've never heard this kid scream so loud in my life. His mouth opened up like that scene from Beetlejuice when Alec Baldwin was like, it was crazy.
Yeah, there's another fun fact. I was yelling as hard as I can, and I lost my voice.
Have you noticed Leland's voice is a little bit raspy? So Leland lost his voice there because he was yelling so much last night.
And then apparently this kid was wearing a Cody outfit front row, and then he had like glasses on, and then he had short black hair, and then this like security guard lifted it up and brought him in the ring.
Yep,
He got to walk on the ring and got to
little jealousy here.
And then got to hug Cody and then get the chunk of the table piece signed.
Yeah. So the Cody did what he usually does. He brought a kid out of the audience who was wearing, in fairness, the kid was wearing a Cody Rhodes jacket. He came prepared. You were wearing a classic WWE jacket. You were wearing an NWO jacket. Both provided by Chalkline Apparel. We could probably get a Cody jacket from Chalkline.
Yeah, and then...
You should check out Chalkline Apparel down below.
If we did very, very, very front row at WrestleMania, even if we go, then, and if Cody shows up...
He probably will.
Yes. Then you can have him sign that. Okay, so at the very end of the night, Cody comes out. He brings his microphone and he starts talking to the audience. Cody is a champion of champions. I will say that Cody does a really good job at making the audience feel loved. He stayed there and circled the whole circumference of the ring after the show to take photos, shake hands, and sign autographs with everybody who was sitting on the floor, which, fortunately, we were sitting on the floor. So, what happened?
So, this belt right here,
Krosby's yellow Intercontinental Championship.
I got it signed by Cody.
Got it signed by Mr. Cody Rhodes himself, right there. See that? Now, let's tell a little story about how this actually got signed.
So, the missus.
The missus wasn't messing around. The missus. She wasn't messing around.
She ran.
She cut everybody off.
And then she just went like, "Oh, Cody, Cody, Cody," and then he just.
I have video of it, you know.
And then he just went like, "Okay," and then signed it super fast, and then just walked away.
He kept on going. So let's watch a video real quick that I got of the missus charging her way through the audience in order to get this belt signed for this guy. So I would say for Mom's effort, she definitely deserves
The champion.
the woman's championship.
But
And if you guys have been watching the videos, she refuses to wear this thing, but don't worry, we'll get her to come around.
yeah, I'm gonna beat her in a match.
You're going to beat her in a match? I'm sure she's going to be thrilled to hear that. Okay, so all in all, how would you guys, I hate to put numbers on things, but all in all, how would you guys rate your first WWE live event on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Leland?
I would say it's a 10 out of 9. A 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nothing can be perfect. I like that scoring scale. You keep that. Keep that 10 for something really special, like WrestleMania. Krosby, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you rate your first WWE live event, SmackDown?
9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10. That only gives a 0.5 variance between where this is and perfect. So, are you saying that
WrestleMania is gonna be a 10 out of 10.
WrestleMania might be a 10 out of 10? And that's the thing that we're talking about now. These guys want to go see WrestleMania because it's in Las Vegas, which is fairly close to us. We could drive there.
And I really want to go to Las Vegas too.
I don't know if Vegas is really kid-friendly. They tried that one time and it didn't work out so well for them.
No, but and
Yeah.
also
When I was a kid.
and also that we drive past it on the trip to the Grand.
We did drive past it on our trip to the Grand Canyon.
And I want to see this one pay-per-view. It's my favorite pay-per-view.
Is it
of all
Survivor
time.
Series?
Nope. That is very
Oh,
far
Royal
away.
Rumble.
It's the Royal Rumble.
Leland wants to see the Royal Rumble.
I really like
I have
that.
seen a Royal Rumble before. I thought it was really cool.
Because I really
The
like
most one I want to see is WrestleMania.
the excitement, 5, 4.
Yeah, you
3,
get 30 times they count people
1.
down to the ring.
And then
That's pretty exciting.
A lot of people return.
Yeah. They do usually bring back a lot of superstars for Royal Rumble.
Like Edge, remember 2020?
Do you have any final thoughts on our experience last night?
Nope.
No final
I have.
thoughts? You got it all
I
out?
have.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your final thoughts, Crosby?
I'm so bummed about Roman Reigns not being there.
Crosby's still pretty bummed out that Roman Reigns didn't show up. That's your final thought?
Yeah.
But all in all, did we like it?
Yeah.
Was it a lot of fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It
And
was super fun. I want to go again.
He wants to go
I
again.
created a chant. It was OTC.
You didn't create the chant.
No, this.
What does OTC stand for?
Original Tribal Chief.
The original tribal chief. You know what one of my favorite parts of the show was?
What?
My favorite part of the show?
What?
was when they panned the camera around and asked everybody to give their best
D-Generation.
DX.
Yeah,
That was super fun.
I thought DX was
Yes.
They heard that music hit and they thought Shawn Michaels and Triple H
Yeah, and
was
then-
about to come out.
And then Mom carried me, and then she said, "Get on video." And then
So
I did this.
Kros was doing the X, the D-Generation X. All right.
This stands for CM Punk, and this stands for D-Generation.
Yep. All right. Before we sign off, let's give everybody one big X. Are you ready? So for next time, maybe we'll end up at WrestleMania. Who knows? You guys ready to sign off? Yeah! All right.